This is Athens. We just escaped the chaos of Egypt, the most amazing scam in the world. We battled through the noise, the dust, the stress, the chaos, the scams, but now I am back in Europe. The last time I was in Greece was in 2016 flying solo, but this time I brought the boys. Greece might be gritty, but compared to where we just came from, it feels like the future. We're seeing the godfather of ancient European history, checking out the main sites and the history, sure, but mostly we're here for the vibes, the food, and the freedom.
Greece, baby!
I'm Youngmin. I solo traveled to 127 countries, all while working a full-time office job by maximizing my vacations and points. And now I'm finally on YouTube to take you along for the journey. Welcome to the adventure.
Prepare for landing.
We made it to Europe. It smells like Europe. Leaving Egypt and finally coming to Europe, the breath of fresh air. Greece, it's a different flavor.
There's a crosswalk here. The car stopped for us when we crossed the street.
That's saying a lot. First beer in Europe, this is gonna be better. We just got out of a 1-hour metro ride that cost $10. Could have just joined forces and gotten a big Uber for the same amount of time and money. So lesson learned. Feels good to be back in Athens. So we're walking from Syntagma station to our Airbnb. Tiles are in rough shape here. It's gonna be a long walk. You have smart people just holding it. What? Crosswalks, lights, people are actually following the rules. We just came from Luxor. It's like 34 degrees and it's like 20 degrees here. Not much of a view, but automatic blinds. I'm about to cry. Stocked.
Alright boys, cheers.
Welcome to Greece.
What a view
There it is. First day in Athens. We are finally out of Egypt. We are now in Europe. So, time to explore. Elevator in Athens.
Just 4 guys.
Look at the charm of this place. We're finally in Europe, which you know what that means. Beware of gypsies. Finally at the square. I think we walked 20 minutes so far and not one ni hao. No hello. No. Where are you from? No. China? China? Oh, there we go. First one today.
China!
Monastiraki, the main square. That's where we're at. And in the middle we have a church that's probably older than America. Good one.
Yalla, habibi.
Oh no. Oh, just beautiful. And then, taste of LA.
No, dude, LA tents are better.
First meal in Athens. Atlantic Coast Seafood Restaurant. Regular size beer. Wow. We got the Temple of Hepatitis over there.
This is the Hepatitis Temple, and this is the Agora of Athens.
Acropolis 98. Get out. Wow. Look. After a hard day escaping Egypt, and now in Athens, this is how we relax. We're here.
Literally baby! Greece, baby!
What was yesterday then?
First lunch in Athens. Forgot. Alright, we are here at the Acropolis Museum. It's called the new museum because it was built after the National Archaeological Museum. This one's 20 euros, the old one is 12 euros. 9 years later. Back at the Acropolis Museum, fine establishment. This museum houses artifacts that are found within the Acropolis complex as well as the surrounding slopes, whereas the National Archaeological Museum will house things from all over Greece. Just like in ancient Rome, you see it's all white, but that's because the paint has faded away. The caryatids of Erection. There's supposed to be 6. These are the originals. The ones we'll see later at the Parthenon are reproductions. One has been stolen to the British Museum, and one was smashed by a Turkish cannonball. We literally found Jesus.
It's a unibrow.
Second floor of the Acropolis Museum. Terrace Cafe. This is the view. And it's raining. And that is a thick pigeon. Oh boy. Look over there.
Is it not purple pink? It looks green. I don't know. It actually looks the same with the glass.
But actually, these are yours. We got them for you. They're a gift for you for the color blindness. Surprise!
What? These are actually colorblind shades?
Surprise!
Wow. The sentiment is really cool though. Thank you, sir. If it worked, yeah, I think I might have like a moment here.
Back inside the museum, we check out the best of ancient Greece, the centerpiece of the main archway of the Parthenon. And this, the archway of the opposite end. Outside we'll see the actual remains of what remains, but it's incredible to think what it would have looked like in its full glory. These must have all lined the sides of a temple, but I don't know why they're not being put into restoration. Honestly, it's kind of sad. Maybe it takes too long, too much money, but I guess it's safe here in the museum. Here we are in the basement. Beneath the museum, you will need the same ticket to scan and go through turnstiles built over the ruins. Respect. People just lived in little hobbit holes underground. Somebody in the comments, please let me know what this is on the side of the museum. Is this a reminder of who conquered them? I'm culturally curious and confused. So earlier we showed up here to buy tickets, but we found out it's a timed reservation system, something they didn't have last time, and maybe one of only 2 or 3 other attractions ever that I found in the world that has such a system. But luckily there was space later in the day, so we hung out for 3 hours and came back, scanned the QR code, beat everyone to the front of the line, and just entered. But entrance fees have gone up since, from 20 to 30 euros, making it the most expensive entrance fee in Europe. On top of that, it seems the crowds are increasing. Now, this entire mountainous hill complex is known as the Acropolis. In 480 BC, the Persian army destroyed Athens and everything on Acropolis Hill. And 30 years later, the Greek victory of Pericles saw the building of what we see today, with a postcard of Greece, the Parthenon, Temple of Athena. Over the centuries, the temple served as a Byzantine church and later an Ottoman mosque. And later it served as an ammunition storage, where in 1687 the Venetians bombarded the city and led to a devastating explosion of the Parthenon. We were super fortunate that 3 days before coming here, we saw the news saying that scaffolding that was here for decades was finally gone. And when comparing with my trip 9 years ago, it definitely seems they did a lot. They just need a little paint job and the columns are done and they can move on to the next sign. It'd be very heartbreaking to pay 30 euros just to see a bunch of scaffolding, so this is a treat. The cyclette turrets, the 6, sadly reproduced. So seeing it from the side, you can see how empty it looks, but the people who run this place know what they're doing. From the entrance, when you come diagonally, you see the full front facade. I think it's a complete building, and that's good enough for the postcards. There's a human for scale. Now you can see the full size, girth, and power of these pillars. It's truly imposing. So surprisingly, Greece is listed as 5th most expensive European destination as a country. And that's mostly driven by high-end resorts in the islands, but also the expensive costs of entrance fees here in Athens. So everything else might be cheap compared to the more expensive powerhouses that we think of, but because of the entrance fees, you're looking at maybe 100 euros a day. So we spotted our Airbnb. Here we go. There it is. Like I mentioned before, things in ancient Greece were painted, not all white, just like in Rome. So there's a path that goes all the way around. This is the last side that we'll see. It looks in pretty rough shape. There was a picture showing what it was like in 1852, and it looks exactly the same. So you see the sea out there, and you wonder why the city center isn't close to the water. Well, we're sitting on top of basically a natural fortress. So they can deal with the distance, but be in a more secure location and be in a sacred place close to the gods. Another view, especially at sunset. Taking that view. From Voldemort. Nice scenic walk to hopefully get out. I don't know. Lack of signage here. So we did find an exit down steps down towards the mortals. Athens is quite possibly the ugliest city I've seen. Why? Because of the uncontrolled, incessant graffiti everywhere. Even in the historic center, you see them destroying these beautiful buildings. So we are passing by Hadrian's Library again. Looks like they're doing some good work restoring the pillars. And you see the dogs, natural bodyguards. You see the difference here from the pillars that we saw at the Parthenon. These are single columns, whereas these are broken up into pieces. What a view. Back to Monastiraki Square. But this is one of the main tourist streets that stretch outside of the square, and you go right behind it, it starts getting ghetto. Some thoughts about Athens. It's a major tourist destination. It feels very cosmopolitan, very metropolitan. Second time here, worth it? Absolutely. Finishing up all the major sites, we tour around the city as we wrap up our time in Athens and a great 7-day bros trip. Look at this modern toilet. It was amazing to pair the ancient histories of Egypt and then Greece with the guys this time on their first trip. Last meal in Athens. We're going out with a bang. All sorts of different meats, duck, pork, and we got the steak. Overall, we had a blast. It was such a breath of fresh air coming from Egypt. The tourist infrastructure in Athens is built, and they're ready for your tourist money. The great thing is there's so much ancient history here, but everything is pretty compact and close by. So you can see all the main highlights in one day, and the rest just relax. 6:30 a.m. I'm up alone and I say goodbye to the friends. I call a Bolt to the airport and get lucky with a brand new Benz. The driver hauled ass, we got there in 40 minutes. He looked like he partied all night, but he was still festive and was just chatting it up the whole ride. 7 a.m. on a Saturday. It's bustling at Athens airport, so I check out the Party Pass lounge where I get followed and scolded for filming, but here it is. Hello. I'm here at the Gold Air Lounge thinking there's a complimentary shower, but it's unavailable during the weekend, so check out the Pro Serve lounge instead. This one is pretty standard but spacious. Scoffed on a nice plate of breakfast and I was on to the gate. Last day in Athens. It was a great trip. See the history here. Overall, very pleasant experience, much in line with my experience 9 years ago. I had a great 7-day solo trip back in 2016, flying from New York to Greece. In New York, Greece really know how to party it up. The whole flight, I could not sleep at all. I started in Athens, I saw all the sights in 2 days, and I was also lucky enough to see the start of the Olympic Marathon, which starts here in Athens. Then I spent a very lonely 2 days in beautiful Santorini before coming back to Athens on my way to Meteora. But the moment I checked into my hostel, the forecast showed thunderstorms, so I literally got up and rushed to the airport on a taxi and booked a flight to Cyprus right away, where I had an amazing time to check out the developed south and then cross the border over to northern Cyprus. Yes, a completely separate country and conflict frozen in time. This time it's different with the guys. That's pretty sad to end the trip here, but my journey begins with the next destination. So flying here from Egypt, we arrived on a bus gate, and going out, I'm leaving on a bus gate again. This is the hub of Aegean Airlines. We passed by a line of 20 Aegean A320neos, so it seems they're growing and the airport is growing as well, which is good to see, but hopefully no more bus gates. The highlight here is the world-class pitch, best in Europe. My knees are screaming for more space. Everyone here probably woke up at 5 a.m. for this flight, but Greeks are full of the Mediterranean spirit, so they know how to chat it up for the entire 2-hour flight, so I got zero sleep, and the face says it all. You win some, you lose some, last run economy, in the middle seat, on to the next adventure.
Thanks for watching. I'm just starting to record my adventures on YouTube, so subscribe and stay tuned for lots more.